morning, everyone. My name is Letitia Griffin, and I am back as your consumer advocate to talk to you today about finances, about any types of issues that you may be having with your budget, any type of debt help you need, any questions at all. Feel free to give us a call. You can reach us for the next few minutes or so here at 312-738-1060. Now, if you are sitting by and you don't get a chance to call in, or you really are shy, don't want to talk on air, you can always feel free to reach out to a credit counselor at Family Credit at 800-994-3328. And great thing about Family Credit is they've got the online chat feature, so you can talk directly with a credit counselor by going to the website at familycredit.org, and then you can click to actually talk to a real representative. You can get all your questions answered, any types of questions that you have and you don't know where to go. That's a great resource for you to use. So I want you to take advantage of that and use that as you need it. Now, we know that the holidays are here, and over the past few weeks we've been talking a lot about finances, about budgeting, about getting things together. And so today we're going to touch a little bit on holidays. And my main thing that I want to talk to you about today is how to not go broke during the holidays. So we've got a few holiday tidbits and tips that I want to share with you. And then, as usual, if you've got any questions, always feel free to call in and ask, because we're here to help. And you never know how your question or your comment can help someone in the audience that's listening as well. So always feel free to share your problems, your questions, your concerns with us. So I've noticed that a lot of people are really excited about the holidays, but they feel like they don't have the money to actually contribute or to buy gifts and presents. So that's where we want to start. I want you to know that, presents and gifts, they're all fine, but it's really not what the holiday season is about. So we want to look at what we have, our available resources, and work within our budget and work within our means and make sure that we're making our finances work for us. So I want to identify a few problems that a lot of people are having, and we'll start that in a second. Right now we've got our first caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, I was actually just calling to see what my credit score needs to be to get a mortgage loan. I've never bought a house before.
Okay. Now, a lot of people are looking to buy homes, and so right now is actually the greatest time to start thinking about that and to think about what your score needs to be. So you want to know what your score is? You need to contact a counselor, but you want to know what your score needs to be in order to get a home loan? All you need is really, if you've got a solid score of about 600 or more, then you are able to get a home loan. Now, technically, you can get a home loan if your score is at about 580, 585 range. That's what the guidelines state for FHA. But if you want to do better, you want to have a chance at a better interest rate, or, just better concessions all the way around with that home loan, look for 600 or more, and you can do it. That's really doable. Now, we've got the score that ranges from 350 to 850, so if you're looking at a 600, it's not bad. It's something that you can do. You can contact a counselor and get started at trying to find out what your score is and what you need to improve it. So those counselors are there to stand on standby, waiting to talk to you and help you improve your financial situation. Now, while we're thinking about our financial situation, one of the first things I want to talk about is the drains that we all experience. And a lot of these drains that are on our finances are pretty much invisible because there are things that we do not think about. First thing I was thinking about, where do we waste money a lot? And when you're thinking about your finances and your budget, where you shop, what you do every single day, the one thing that I think we all may waste on is food. And think about it. A lot of times we think about going to the restaurant, or not necessarily, even when we go to the grocery store. Do you know they say that a lot of times we overspend when we actually go to the grocery store? And there was a survey conducted by the Natural Resource Defense, and what they came up with was that on average, every American wastes at least 40% of the food we purchase. That's a lot of food. That's almost half. That means we're spending money for nothing, and we are really going to throw that away. So when we start thinking about it, think about how you clean out your refrigerator, how often you do it, and how much money you're actually throwing away. And when you start to think about things like that, that's when we can start making those behavior modifications, and we can modify what we're doing. We can look at our budget and those changes that we want to make with it so that we're actually saving more money and not losing it. And we've got more money in our budget because guess what? Now we're being diligent, we're being proactive and looking at our finances ahead of time so that we are not wasting money and not throwing money away, especially on food. Also think about when you go out to eat, when you take your family out, there's lots of money that's being wasted too. And also you can even think about some of those things that you may not even need while you're out there. How many times do you buy appetizers or even dessert that you don't even get a chance to enjoy? How many things do you actually not even enjoy when you're out there and you're buying things, or you're picking something off the menu and you know you're not going to eat it? That's money that you're wasting right there. What about the amount that you pay for drinks as well? Average price of a drink when you're in the city of Chicago will run you probably about $16. So what's some things that you can do to cut that out? How about wait until you get home to consume those types of things, and you're saving money on your meal. So we want to think about that, because guess what? We can save an additional $2,000 per year in our budget if we look at the amount of food that we're actually wasting. So just wanted to throw that in your ear. Another invisible drain that we probably do not think about is what? Bank fees. A lot of times we pay fees and we're not even aware of it. Look at your bank statements also. See if they are charging you a monthly fee. Look at their accounts, the products that they have listed. See if there's other things that you can do or other ways to get those fees to stop, or maybe even other products that you can probably move into that'll stop that. They may have like a no interest or no fees checking account that you don't even know about because you've had your checking account for so many years and yet you're getting fees every single month. And so that's an actual drain. Another fee that we don't think about is the overdraft fee. Now, years ago, I know people thought it was horrible, with overdraft fees, getting $35 overdraft fees, and they would just hit your account one after the other after the other. So as of in 2010, a lot of times the government steps in and they regulated things with the Overdraft Protection Act, and saying that, okay, anyone that wants overdraft protection, now they have to opt in and request overdraft protection. That way people aren't getting hit with those fees. But what we found is that for those people that do opt in and say, okay, I do need this overdraft protection, they pay 7 times more in fees than the individual that has not opted in and just, has said, okay, bank, you can send whatever items I can't afford or whatever items I can't cover in my account, send those items back. So you've got people that are paying more in fees for those types of transactions. That's another money drain. It looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hello. Where can I get a free credit report?
Okay. There's so many different places out there that say that they offer free credit reports, but they really don't. So you have to be careful when you're looking at them. The best place for you to go to get your free credit report is and always will be annualcreditreport.com. So look that one up, and with that you can get access to each bureau once a year. So that means you can get each one of your reports, and it's always recommended that you space them out, maybe like every quarter get a new report. But if you're looking to get your report, do it through annualcreditreport.com. Now, there's other places for you to go to get your score, and we can talk about that a little bit later on too. But always remember, if you see those places out there that are advertising free reports, a lot of times they don't even give you the report. They don't give you anything like what you need to actually be able to look at your full report and determine if the information there is for you, if it's accurate, and if it's what you need to look at your whole situation. So if you can't, or if you don't have time to go to annualcreditreport.com, you can contact a counselor. They can also help you get your credit report. They can pull your credit report for you and go over your report. So that's really, really cool, especially if you just are not in the position where you like to look at your report, or you just want some more information and other tips to go along with how you can maintain and improve things. So always look that up too. Remember, there's a lot of great resources out there. You just have to find them, and you have to know where you can find that information, and that's what I'm here for. So another thing that we were talking about, we were looking at money drains or financial drains on your income, is looking at the amount of energy that's consumed. Now, we've got our utility bills that come all the time, and with the utility bills, we've got charges that we may not be aware of. And so I just want you to take some time and actually look at your bill and see what it is that you're paying for, making sure that you are not being overcharged on your utilities, number one. Number two, check your house to make sure that you have energy efficient appliances and products throughout your house, because you want to be able to maximize the amount that you're paying and make sure that you're not paying too much for it. So there are a lot of energy efficient products and appliances out there. You can look for a programmable thermostat, and other things that you can do is look for update your appliances. And look at the light bulbs that you have too. You want to make sure that you've got the right light bulbs that are going to conserve energy and you aren't paying a lot each and every single month. You can contact the city's 311 program as well and see about some of the services that are offered through the City of Chicago, which will give you free updates on your appliances, free updates. They can do a survey of your house and just help you improve things. And a lot of times some of those services are actually free, so it's not like you need to do anything extra. Just call for help, so be sure you do that. Another thing that I want you to think about: subscriptions and memberships. Now, I've seen a lot of people that get roped into telemarketers or into services. There's people that are offering newspapers. All you have to do is buy this newspaper. It'll only cost you $10 a year and you get a free t-shirt. Or you can go to this gym, get a membership, start the membership. There's no monthly fee for at least 3 months. And so you do this, and what happens is you sign up for this subscription service. You know that there's going to be a fee eventually, but you forget about it. So what happens is you give in your credit card information or your banking information, and they are withdrawing money out of your account. And that's another drain that we don't even think about. So you've got this money that's billing out of your account. It shouldn't be, but it's a small amount, so you don't really think about it until something bad happens. Well, the best thing for you to do is to say no to those subscription services altogether, because it's up to you. Yes, it's up to you to remember it. But a lot of times, are we actually going to remember? Not at all. So if you got those offers for the magazines, the newspapers, even when you're trying to get your credit report, sometimes you may go to the wrong website, or you may see a vendor that's offering, hey, you can have our credit monitoring service for only a charge of $40 a month and you don't have to pay until next month. Something like that. Be aware of it, stay away from it, and don't sign up in the first place. There's so many different tools out there that will help you avoid those types of things. And if you, like I said, if you need the information, you need the help, there are resources out there to help you. So those are things that you can stay away from as well. Another thing that I want you to watch out for is what I call price creeping. And what I mean by that is, let's say you sign up for a service and it's for a set amount of time, and then once that expires, you know your services or your price is going to increase. Keep in mind that, let's say, the cable companies, the telephone companies, they are notorious for that. So you want to make sure that you keep a good handle on those types of things, and that you know when your contract is up or when those things are going to run out. With the use of our cell phones, we've got calendars now. Throw it into your cell phone as soon as you sign up for it. Looks like we've got another caller.
Oh, hi. I have a question about some older collection accounts that I have. They're about maybe 5 years old or something, and I don't have the money to pay them, but they've been harassing me a lot lately. Do I still have to pay those when they're that old?
Great question. And a lot of times we see that the harassment will pick up when we've owed a debt for so long. It's like you've never even heard from them in years, and all of a sudden they're back. Sometimes this happens for a few different reasons. We'll go over those in a little bit. But do you have to pay those collections back? the statute of limitations on collection accounts is typically about 7 years. So if you got something that's less than that, let's say you're getting down to 5 and 6 years, it's because they know that that statute is going to run out. So it's really up to you whether you can afford to pay it back and whether you decide to pay it back. Now, if you're thinking about your credit report, if you've got collections bothering you, you always want to pay the newer collections first. So think about that when you're going through your debts, when you're looking at the collection agencies and wondering which ones you should actually pay off. If you got some problems with that, some questions with that, you can contact a counselor and go over those collection accounts, and you can give them the dates and everything, and they can help you with the repayment plan, let you know which ones are better to prioritize over the older collections. So that's a great place to start, especially when you're looking at trying to maintain your score. So again, we're talking about the holidays, and looking at your credit report is something that I want you to keep in mind and want you to be thinking about, because the new year is coming and you want to be prepared. You want to have everything in order, especially now. It's the perfect time for you to take a look at your credit report. So be diligent with that. Look at the collection notices that you're getting in the mail. You want to save those and make sure that you know what debts you owe and who you owe, because sometimes things can pop on your credit report that don't belong to you, that are running out of time, and so there's other recourses that you can take on that. So we'll finish with the credit report in a second, but last thing I just want to throw out there, when you're thinking about not being broke for the holidays, the best thing that you can do is to plan in advance for the holidays. Everyone knows right now that Christmas is coming in the next few days or so, but guess what? Next year, there's another Christmas. So you want to make sure that you're prepared for that. That's why I said you can start saving in advance and looking at setting up in a holiday savings account right now. One of the things that you may want to do is look at your budget, see what you can spare. Of course, you've got your disposable income. You've got that income left after you pay your bills. Hopefully, it's a lot more than you planned on. And no matter what amount you've got left once you pay your bills, think about what you can comfortably afford to just save. If it's only $5, do that and put that into that holiday savings account. You can also look at taking an amount like $15 to $30 every paycheck, putting that into an account, and that way you're not as stressed. Also, there's different times during the year where certain items go on sale. And like I said last week, everyone thinks that, items are on sale right now and this is the best time of the year to buy it, but they may or may not be true. And with the way that the retailers are running things, a lot of times these deals aren't any different from what it has been given all along. So you want to think about that as well. And look at the items that you want to be saving up for. You know what you want to purchase and how much you need. And you want to save that throughout the year so that at the last minute you're not looking at using your last paycheck that you need to pay your rent for or pay your bills and trying to decide whether you pay your bills or whether you should buy your Christmas presents for your family members. So keep that in mind. Think about that. You want to start as early as you can planning for next year. So look at your budget and re-examine your expenses and know how much you can afford to put towards each month towards your holiday savings account. Also, another good idea would be for you to count your pennies. Every time you get change, every time you have change, you need to think about some stationary place, maybe set up a little jar in your house where you can save, and this money can also go into your holiday savings accounts as well. You can also go one step further. Think about every time you purchase something, or you can say, okay, every time I purchase something online, whatever that change that's left, round it up to the nearest dollar, and I'll put that amount into the savings account as well. So if I spend $8.50, I'll take that 50 cents, make that $9, and take that 50 cents and throw it into my savings account. That's a great way to start saving small and planning for the future. So also, we all know that if you're not bringing in enough income, the only thing that you can do is to increase your income or decrease your expenses in order to make ends meet. So look at other ways that you can increase your income too. Think about the skills. A lot of times we are more talented than we let on, and we need to look at what skills that we have and see how we can use that to help put ourselves in a better financial situation as well. So those are a few things that I want you to do. And then after you've done that, you've thought about what it is that you can make more money with, or you're starting to save, you've got your savings goals in mind, you may also want to think about what is it that you can give up in the course of your year that's going to help you save money too. There's some people out there that smoke, or let's say you go to the grocery store, you go to the corner store or the gas station every single day and you buy items that you don't need. There's people like me used to stop at Starbucks all the time. But you have to think about, how is that prohibiting me or stopping me from reaching my financial goals? And you want to look at giving that stuff up. And a lot of times you can't go cold turkey. You can't give it up all at once. Then do small incremental behavioral changes that will help you achieve success. And I believe that you can do it. So think about those things. Also, last thing I want you to think about is making sure that you think about your goals for next year. Like I said, looking at that credit report, that is key. Take a look at your credit report right now and see what it is that you need to do to improve your financial future. Look at your credit cards. You want to make sure, the biggest thing that I'm seeing right now is that a lot of people are really close to their credit limits or even over their credit limits and they don't realize it. So look at your credit report, look at your credit limit, and look at your balance. See where they range. You want to make sure that you are about maybe 30% under whatever your credit limits are, and try and keep them that way. If you are not there, if you're nowhere near it, there's a couple of things you can do. So if you have gone over your credit limit, you want to see what you can do to pay yourself under your credit limit. If you can't do that, contact your creditor and see what you need to do for them to increase your credit limit. So think about that. Also, look at your goals for next year and see what you can do to increase that. Look at your credit score, and you want to look at your credit score and your report and weigh the both items, because your report is separate from your score, and you want to see what components affect the other. If you've got problems with that, sometimes it can be overwhelming. Remember, you can contact a counselor at Family Credit at 800-994-3328 and speak with a counselor, get some help, get some resources, and just be able to get yourself back on track for next year, because the last thing you want to do is be worried about your finances when next year gets here. So I want to see you being proactive and taking that step to improve your finances, because hey, guess what? 2018 is right around the corner. So we'll see you again next week. Have a good one.